Could you throw some light on your childhood and the struggles that you have undergone during your childhood, and uh, how smart a kid you were during your childhood?
I'm from a small village in Kerala. Very, very small. Probably a remote village which a normal person who grew up in a city or normal village in India cannot even imagine.
Right.
Where development, if I want to compare, electricity came when I was doing my post graduation. And it's in North Kerala. Kerala has got a capital which is in the south of Kerala.
Right.
So generally far places from capital city will have less development. It's true with my village also. So we have no dreams, no interest in education. See, there is nothing which inspires you to do something. Cinema theatre is 25 kilometers away. A college is nearly 25 kilometers away. So if your college is your next door, I'm sure you will have aspiration to become a college student. Engineering education was never heard of. I remember my eldest brother got MBBS admission and he said masters in zoology is higher than MBBS, and he didn't join. Right? So what do you think of such a child to have something positive to think about? But luckily my eldest brother was a postgraduate in zoology. He was the first postgraduate in my village. So my family specifically had some interest in academics and education, but I'm sure that was not verbally, or maybe some stories or sharing a life experience from my elders were there in my childhood to change my life. So it was a normal, maybe traditional, old Indian style,
Right.
where life is just eating and spending time every day, sleep in the night and then get up in the morning to have another night for sleep. That's it, day and night, nothing beyond. That was in my life.
So as a kid, you never had ambition in your life or a role model in your life?
Never. No, I don't think. See, actually, a role model is developed based on your humanities education. Like literature, we have Mahatma Gandhi's life story. Probably you have Vishwesharayya's life story. Listening to that, somebody will feel, oh, I also have to become like this. I am sure my teachers were not that great teachers. They were all normal or below average teachers who never took a lesson from that to tell, oh, this is why this lesson is being taught to you. It was just learning the lesson for writing an exam. Why do you want to pass first grade? It was to get into second grade. But only one difference was, today most of the children will reach up to 10th grade without fail. But in my childhood, I remember my 6-year-old senior brother, his classmate was also my classmate. That means there is a possibility of failing in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4.
Right.
So minimum pass mark is required so that you will reach to the next grade. That was the only criteria for studies.
Okay.
It was not because we have passion for science or maths or physics or chemistry, because most of the teachers were almost the same, and up to 6th grade we have only one teacher for all the subjects.
Okay.
Maybe 4th grade up to that. After that 5 and 6 probably English teacher is different. Same science teacher is maths teacher. So we don't have somebody who inspires saying that yeah, science is great, because same person has to say social studies is also great. That doesn't happen. Right. That's it. So my English education started only in 5th grade. That's it. And syllabus was very, very narrow. Nothing much, nothing great. I don't remember, even as probably I don't remember anything which I learned up in my primary or upper primary classes.
So when did this shift in academics started for you?
See,
When did you become a serious student?
actually in 8th grade I was in a very special school. Special school in the sense, highly meritorious children were taken in a district Kannur where I am. One school was identified as very, very meritorious special grade school where great teachers were appointed. Uh, District educational officer was posted as headmaster. That's actually a lower post for him, but he was posted. And all great teachers. And they had an entrance exam to get children for 8th grade, and I happened to pass in that. I got joined there, but in 8th grade, end of the academic year, they gave me a TC and then sent me out of the school, saying that I am not fit for such a best school in the district, because they know that I am not going to be a first class student. So 60% was first class, so I was not eligible to get a 60%. That prediction of my principal made me to get out of the school. It so happened in 12th also I was not a very brilliant student. But then in 12th class, we don't have 12th class. Those days we have pre-degree, which is part of a university system. My 12th classmates, few of them got admission in mathematics, BSc in same college where we studied for pre-degree. Then it was shame for me that I am seeing my classmates going to a college where I did not get an admission, and I have to get admission in some other city. That time I was staying with my eldest brother in Payyanur, and I got an admission in a next city called Kanyanad. That was not that a great college, slightly lower meritorious college. So every day I used to feel that I'm not good. Then I tried my all tricks to get back to the same college. I changed 2 colleges, went to Kannur. There also I studied 1 year, one month, 1.5 months. Shifted, came back to my college.
Okay.
Then I want to show that yes, I can also be a good student, because the principal who was there, who was a maths teacher, who knows me perfectly well that I am not a good student, denied admission to me.
Okay.
So I influenced the university to get an admission. I want to prove that I am a changed person now.
So you
I
took it as a
changed.
challenge.
And in 3rd year, I remember when my principal was called for as a guest for inaugurating some maths club and all that, he used to send me as a substitute.
Okay.
So he found I am the one of the best student of him.
Okay.
So that change in me was a actually motivation, not for me alone, not for my principal to recognize me, but beyond that I found that the whole batchmates in my BSc had a great effect, because in the whole Payyanur College BSc batch, mathematics batch, our batch was the best. All of us, most of us got into high government positions. Most of them took post-graduation. There were a lot of people who became good and great. Right? We have politicians, we have academicians, we have directors from that, we have bank employees at the senior manager level. Many. I think at least some 6 or 7 of them took PhD. That itself is great from a normal college in a small city.
Right. So you were a bad student during your childhood, and then you decided to change by challenging yourself, and then you ended up becoming a space scientist. You have done a lot of degrees. So this itself shows that no matter what one's background is, one can change their foreground. So if a person wanted to change himself in today's world, say, what kind of effort do they need to take, or what kind of support do they require from others around him?
See, assume a river is flowing and there is a branch which has fallen,
Right.
and the river is not able to flow. What the river will do?
It will overflow.
Not all the time it has got sufficient water to fill. So your answer is correct. You have to fill. Don't wait for something to happen.
Okay.
I don't think a person who is lazy, the environment will make him to do something. But if you are ready to take challenges, take the courage, independent, It is not that somebody will help you. If you are good, I'm sure somebody will help you.
Right.
If you are not good, nobody is going to help you. Even if somebody helps, he has to be fully all the time supporting. That doesn't happen in anybody's life. Right?
Right.
So you have to be independent. There is an environment which gives you a time, and that environment may not come at the right time when you want. You have to wait for that.
Okay.
Probably in my life, it came at the right time. I had my brother who was supporting me. He would have told, yeah, you are not good, go and work in the field. We are from agriculture family, but he still supported me. Right. So that environment is required. Assume I was not in a very good college. My classmates were not very good. Probably even graduation I will not be able to complete in the same style. You may have realization, but it's all essential to have a good environment.
Right.
If you look at all the people in this world who grew or they have reached into some level, or maybe a lower level of whatever grade they have, there is somebody who supported.
Right.
So there is something which has to be internally. There is an environment which is required to support you. Then the flow becomes easier. Otherwise you have to be that challenging, great. I don't think I was that challenging and great. You need a mentor. My eldest brother was a good mentor actually.
Okay.
Right. So he turned my life, because I was living with him. Earlier I was in a village. My environment was not that great. Probably the shifting into my brother first 2 years was very horrible, because if something has to be made smooth, you have to rub it. While rubbing, it becomes painful. But once it becomes smooth, the rubbing becomes so smooth, it's not painful, right? So probably that 2 years of living with him was not that smooth for me. But then the next 3 years living was very peaceful and smooth for me. And I'm sure parents should support. You should have good teachers and good environment, good classmates and students who support you, peer groups. They're all important. So I was blessed to have all of them to get into my masters. Further, when I reached masters also, I changed 2 colleges. I was in a master's program in one place, then I saw Cochin University, we had only 10 students, highly research oriented. I took the chance of jumping. Normally what will happen to people, they join somewhere, they say, oh, it's okay, fine for me, now I got a place. Right. It's anyway both are MSc. But I always looked for a place which is higher. From a college I went to university for masters. When I reached there, I got a chance to go to, I would have continued a PhD in the same university, but I took an option to go to Bangalore. Okay. So that also changed. So I looked always option for changing. It so happened in Bangalore, I went for a conference, I met somebody who was a space scientist. We had a close relationship. He was my roommate, he was a very senior scientist. He told a lot of things about, do you think somebody will talk about his department, his activity of work to someone? You could have different discussions, but only I drove the discussions close to his experience.
Right.
So that motivated me to grow. So I am sure a student who has got an opportunity to learn many things from people around him, let it be 10 days of staying together with a scientist, that changed my life.
Okay.
So wherever possible, it could be my brother, it could be my classmate, it could be my teachers, it could be my university where I studied, great teachers were there in Cochin University, and it could be my conference, it could be my PhD guide. PhD guide was a great master because he produced 42 PhDs. I was the 42nd student. So my ambition was to become a professor like him, to produce a lot of PhD students. But then the space scientist who influenced me, he said space department is great. He was a teacher earlier. From that he became a space scientist. So I also thought that's great. And he gave me a great lesson. He was telling, a space scientist can always become a teacher, but a teacher rarely becomes a space scientist.
Right.
So I thought first I will opt for a scientist job, and therefore I got it. I applied, I got into a small center of space department, where being the first employee, directly employed with a few people around, I could do a lot of things with a lot of freedom, which made me to learn a lot of things. And because I was doing my PhD, I had a student who was an LLB student as my roommate. I was teaching him, we had discussions, his colleagues used to come to ask doubts. I think that got me interested in law.
Okay.
So it keeps on growing like that, all environment. And I'm a person who loves academics, so if I can read something, learn something, get a degree in that.
Right.
That's what I did. So it was a natural flow,
Okay.
quite normal. Only thing, I was not lazy. I used all my time. I don't think that I wasted some time in my life.
Okay.
So I used all small moments. Probably I must not have enjoyed like somebody else going around, wasting time. That's what I call generally. It may not be waste of time. It's maybe different enjoyment.
Right.
For me, enjoyment was books, reading, doing academics.
Right.
So that's what I did.
Okay.